or sponsors.
Would you love to deepen your spiritual connection and create a conscious shift in your life? Do you seek answers to the human experience? Well, welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. It's a 2-hour safe haven for your questions and spirit's answers, and you can transform your life. Right now on WHFS in Tampa and WWNN in South Florida, Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium who can assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. For the next 2 hours, listen and call in toll-free, 888-565-1470, 888-565-1470, and watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and share love and light.
Love me, hold the
Yes, indeed. There's a light right here on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And we're welcoming for the second week our dear friends in Tampa on WHFS 1010 AM, 92.1 and 103.1. We're so glad to have you join us. Tonight, we're taking the road less traveled. Have you found that you find yourself on a road that is not often traveled? You find yourself kind of going against the grain. You know, each one of us in a journey of life find ourselves walking the path alone, which can be lonely, sometimes a little disconcerting, and makes us feel as if we don't have the support we want. But you see, everyone, from a spiritual point of view, right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, every one of us has a journey that we must fulfill. And only our soul has the answer. One day when I was sitting at my piano, an instant channeling came to me, and a song was kind of birthed right through me. And it says, "The soul knows the journey, why we're here and who we are. What are the questions the soul knows?" And it goes on to say how the soul has the picture, the complete picture, not just this fragmented experience that we're going through, the part of the picture leaving you guessing, trying to understand what else is going on. The path on the road less traveled often leaves us stumped, unsure as to which way is the right way, but just this sense of knowing that we've got to make the journey alone. Some of the great spiritual leaders have spent that time alone, that time in recluse, almost like a hermit, sitting back and reflecting on life. And 2020 gave all of us a chance to reflect on life and gave us the opportunity to go down deep within. But before that, many of us have taken the road less traveled. And for many of you, that road less traveled led you to exactly where you are because you had the time to come to understand who you are and separate yourself from the conditioned experiences and the people's belief as to who they thought you were as opposed to who you really are. You know who you are. But the journey can be a soul-shaking, breaking moment. It's what they call that dark night of the soul. You kind of find yourself just there asking, where do I go from here? And feeling as if you're not supported. For many of us, it happens during a major life event, sometimes in the passing of a family member or a spouse, a parent. Something triggers us to realize that there's a temporary experience that's present, even though we live as if there isn't. And that we have to live with a reason and a purpose. And for some of us, there's a burning desire to have a legacy, to leave your children, or for mankind. Each one of us has a unique purpose. And it's always interesting to listen to people and observe. Often people judge other people. They say, oh, that person, well, they're not going to amount to anything, or they're not the best performer or football player. And they put a label or a cap on their experience, only later on to, of course, be proven wrong. But there are some people who have difficulty breaking free of that cap. Some of our very well-meaning parents have tried to tell us we weren't good enough to do something in their way to protect us, thinking that it might be too hard a journey, so let's keep them on the safe path. And for some of you, you took that as the truth, and you made it your experience, only to live with regret later on. I remember when I used to sing, and it was not pretty. When I was a little one, it was totally off pitch. And so I wasn't encouraged to perform, but there was a road less traveled feeling inside of me that told me that there was something more and that I just had to kind of focus And I worked in my room all by myself. Yes, they heard me singing along with the music, probably with the earplugs in. But I spent a lot of time in that journey. So many of you as a child, you kind of secretly followed a dream or daydreamed about what it would be like to be a famous baseball player or maybe an entrepreneur or a race car driver or maybe a prima ballerina. We've had those dreams. And then, of course, we get swept up with routine and life and school. And maybe given our parents' economic picture, maybe they're not able to support the dream in the way that would facilitate the journey. So we push it on the side. And there's so many other experiences we just push down and we push on the side and we just kind of roll with life. Have you ever rolled with life? Just you went from one thing to another, it just kind of pushes you to it. We went to high school, some of us went to college, some of us got a career, others of us got married and had children, and it just seemed like the right next thing to do, but maybe, just maybe, it wasn't really what was in your heart. But it made sense, it was in front of you, and so you're taking the road that is expected, and you're on the path of life that leads you to what's logical and next. And somewhere along the line, something in the predictability of life, in the anticipated this is what happens next, takes a left turn and starts going south. And suddenly you realize you're not prepared for the change. And even if it's not by choice, which some of the best roads of life that have been alone have been more by choice. But there are others that have been equally as effective, but a little more painful, that got thrust upon you. And you've been faced with how to pick yourself up after 20 years of marriage and now it's over. Or a loss of a child. Or a career that somehow got tarnished and can't be what you imagined it would be. Or maybe the recognition inside that you've just been following what was right in front of you and you don't even know who you are. And you're not happy. And there's this sense of disconcernment and discontentment and just this malaise feeling. And it's hard to shake. And so we take this path and we begin to walk. You know, for me, the greatest moment of a path that took me on a road less traveled was during the time of the loss of my father and my grandmother, all in a very short time. And it was at a time where it just totally uprooted a move that had been made to support my father's business, a career that was flourishing and was relocated, and I was still okay, but it had an impact on my family, had an impact on my resources. And suddenly things didn't feel good anymore. And there was a knowing inside of me when I made the move in support of a passion of my father's with my family, that I was doing it because it was something that he really needed, but it wasn't something that I was thrilled to do. There was that resistance. Have you ever done something for someone and you just kind of didn't feel like it was going to work out on some level? There was a weird feeling, but you did it anyway. Well, thank God I did. But the journey seemed most uncomfortable. It was the selling of the business and the divide and all the things that families go through when things crumble down around and people don't expect it to happen. And there I was, in a place that was new to me, but still in my hometowns of New York, New Jersey. So I was in New Jersey. It wasn't like I was off in some foreign land. But I felt so by myself, and I was at that life change where everything had crumbled down. There were choices to be made, but how do you know what choice to make? How do you really know the direction to take when everything you thought you knew is no more? And everything you thought made you happy in your so-called career does nothing for you anymore. And now you are a big kid now. You don't have that parental connection that was always just there to kind of tell you what to do. I'm sure many of you can relate to this. And as I sat there in New Jersey, thinking, I had a really bad feeling when I moved here, and now I know why. It just was a tumultuous time. It was in that stillness of having to redefine myself that as I sat amongst what really felt like rubble, I had this feeling that there was more to life than being in Mary Kay and being a sales director. There was music, which was always going to be important to me, but there was something else. There was a dream that needed to be supported for me. And I didn't have to be my father's daughter who supported his business, his country club business, his restaurant business, and had all her friends work for him. It didn't have to be that anymore. And many of you have been in that pivotal moment where you don't have to do what's expected of you anymore. And it's a defining moment. And in the journey of trying to discover where did I go from there and redefine myself, it was in that moment that the universe, God, the angels, put me in the most unlikely place to meet a bizarre man, or who I thought was bizarre at the time, who would then bring to me wisdom and conversation in a CompUSA in Parsippany, New Jersey, of all places, that would then later become my spiritual mentor and guide, and give me a perspective on life that all my life and all my exposure to so many different people could never have given me. And then I really walked the path alone, because now I was stepping into a world that no one that I knew understood. And I was coming to that moment of realization that everything I did was great. It wasn't what my soul was calling me to do. And I cannot tell you at the time I even knew the soul called anybody to do anything. I was just living the life. I had been off Broadway. I had been in stand-up comedy. There were so many things that had happened for me. It wasn't a bad life. But suddenly, the illusions of it all, this is what happens next of it all, it wasn't there anymore. And that's what a lot of this shift in the world has been about, that it's not just about the next great fix or the next great thing you do. It's about knowing who you are and walking the path alone and figuring that out, and no one else can give you those answers. And had I not been at the guidance of someone who was telling me what seemed like some interesting stories at the time, I don't know what I would have done. And I look back and I think to myself, the resistance that said, oh no, I don't want to move to Parsippany, New Jersey. I'm perfectly fine where I am. And I really don't want to go support the latest new business. But okay, I'll show up. All I got to do is live close and be there in case the alarm goes off. I can do that, Dad. That resistance inside of me, imagine if I didn't listen to that resistance and go against it. Like I was listening and I was wrestling with that. And I remember the day that I had said to my father, not too long before he passed, well, it wasn't my idea to be here. Like but the feeling I had was a feeling that something was going to go wrong. Because we all have an intuitive sense. And then fast forward, things change and crumble. And now I meet someone who opens up my eyes and opens me to a world of healing and energy and connection of God and prayer and meditation and things that I really wasn't taught in my traditional religion, the way it was being presented. And the opportunity that there's a miracle around every corner. We just need to be receptive. So I think back, and if I look at how I was resistant, and had I given in to that resistance and not made the change, where would I be? And often when any of you are getting ready to make your major breakthrough, to really step into your soul and who you've come to be, and to truly understand and embrace the journey of you, you'll have that moment that crumbling moment where things you thought were real are not real, and the way things are perceived, well, that's not how they are. And the feelings inside, you realize were more surface and maybe not as in depth and true as you thought they were. And that the people around you have been your cheerleaders all the time that said, oh, you'll be a success. Oh, bravo, as they did while I was on stage. They were really hoping I'd fall off the stage because they weren't really there for the support that was about community and connection and heart-to-heart experiences. And don't get me wrong, no matter where you are in life, we all have our wounds, and we will all have a knee-jerk reaction to someone in our path, and it's all for us to grow. It's all for us to take a good look in the mirror and see what we don't like about ourselves, which is another part of the path, of the road less traveled. You know, we can dart down the freeway and the highway and put on our best shades and our best outfits, especially when we can finally get out, whatever that looks like anymore. But is that real for you? Or is the soul calling you to go down that side road and to walk alone and to not distract you with all the chatter of everyone else's experiences and influencing opinions? And you know what they say about opinions. And perhaps maybe guide you to a journey of you, just you, that lets you wake up and say, wait a minute, I'm more than who I've become. And I need to step into that and explore the expansiveness that is me. Tonight we're going to walk down the road together, right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. And we're going to answer your questions, life's questions. We're going to tune in and get the guidance on your life, your career, maybe your love, maybe a crossroad that you're struggling with, which we've all had. And I'm sure many of you are enduring right now. We're going to answer those questions at 888-565-1470. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and that's me, Sarah Spiritual, right here on WHFS 1010 AM, 92.1, 103.1, and also heard in South Florida on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. We are answering your questions. Join me on Facebook, Sarah Spiritual. Join me on YouTube. Join the conversation. We're answering questions there as well. We're going to have a great time tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing what road you're on and seeing where we might need to make a U-turn or just hang left and go along for the ride. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
I've been standing in the room
before. Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
For the most extensive multicultural array of spiritual products, classes, and healing services in a comfortable and convenient setting, you must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Habitat Plaza in West Palm Beach. There you'll find the products, services, and spiritual development classes to help you bridge the gap between you and your spiritual connection. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Habitat Plaza, West Palm Beach. Call them at 561-682-0955 or online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. For yourself or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Habitat Plaza, Okeechobee Boulevard, West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit them on the web at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
We've got a feeling you'll want to listen to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. for insightful, intuitive messages on WHFS. Sarah Spiritual is a spiritual advisor and transformational coach who will assist you. Join Sarah Spiritual for a powerful hour of life's questions and Spirit's answers. I've got a feeling you'll love Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, 6 to 7 p.m. Wednesday. Got the feeling? Just call 888-565-1470.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Sarah Spiritual, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on WHFS 1010 AM 92.1 and 103.1. And let's not forget my tried and true friends on WWNN 1470 AM 95.3 FM and 96.9. We're answering questions, life's questions. We've been navigating life's questions here on national radio for over 12 years. I don't know what show it is. I think it's 597 live shows, something like that. 596. Who knows? Just, we've been hanging for a while, and we're so glad to be talking to all of you. Hope you're following us on Facebook, and if you're listening on WHFS, be sure to note that after 7 p.m., just because we pop on off your station, you can pop on and listen to us on YouTube. You can catch me on Facebook. You can even watch the show on sarahspiritual.com. Or go to iHeartRadio and continue the conversation with us. We are so glad to have you join us. And we're going to pop on our Facebook feed in just a moment to answer questions, so be sure to leave your question in the feed. We'll be answering Facebook and YouTube. But at this minute, I've got to go to Deerfield Beach. That's here in sunny South Florida. I've got to talk to Lisa. Lisa, what's going on? How are you?
Hey, it's been a while. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Lisa. And what is your burning question for me?
Are there any messages from Spirit from the other side?
Always messages from Spirit, always messages from the other side. And, you know, it's interesting. The first thing they make me aware of, Lisa, is somebody's talking to me about children. We have a question about children in the family, please.
Which one?
A grandchild, please. So you have a question, or is there a grandchild on the way, Lisa? They're talking to me about children, grandchildren.
Oh, I have 12 already. I don't think so.
Okay, well, I see a little one. So I don't know who the littlest tyke is then, but someone's...
Oh, yes, there's something going on with my grandson. He'll be a year old in August.
Yes, thank you. I just have eyes from the other side that they're watching over a little grandchild, the little tyke, they refer to them as, okay? And this is coming from the energy of your husband, who's looking after all of you. And I feel as if there's some connection to you and he in this timeline here. And he makes me feel as if there's been a conversation that we just recently had with someone about him. Like we were reminiscing or talking about him just recently. Does that make sense to you, Lisa?
Well, my daughter, his mother, has to go to court August 2nd, and she's having a lot of problems with her boyfriend. They're not married, and yeah.
And so your husband, who's on the other side, is part of talking to you, and you've been asking him what to do? What is the conversation you're having with him? Because he's telling me there's
I have a lot of conversations with him, yeah.
So there's conversation going on. So,
I don't hear him, though, reply to me.
Well, I'm hearing him reply to us, and he's most certainly making sure that you are definitely cared for, Lisa. And there's this very important energy that's around you that is taking care of yourself and your own self-healing. And they're telling me to tell you to pay attention to something going on with a foot, an ankle. We're having some swelling or problems in the foot and the ankle, please, Lisa?
No.
Okay. Keep an eye on your foot and your ankle, please. This is what they're telling me. Okay. Left side is where they take me. So we have some swelling going on there.
No.
Okay. Keep an eye on that. That's what they're making me aware of. So Lisa, what is your question? They're just telling me that there's swelling. There's something there. So you got to pay attention to that. I don't know if I'm not a doctor, can't diagnose. That's where they take me. And sometimes if it doesn't resonate with someone at the moment, then later on we all figure it out, or there's something that we're made aware of, and you go, oh, that's what she was talking about.
Okay.
So I don't dwell and fill in beyond what they give me. Lisa, is there a specific question that you want to ask me?
Yeah, I was going to ask you about my health.
Okay. That's something that they want you to pay attention to. Okay. So something circulatory, but they're talking about swelling, specifically in the ankle area. All right, Lisa? And your daughter in this court on August 6th, yes? This is second. It's going to be complicated. Okay?
Will be complicated?
It's going to be complicated. All right?
We're trying to get an attorney, but can't afford one, and I don't know.
Well, she's going to have to tell the truth, and they're going to have to tell their sides of the story, and we're going to have to trust that God's justice will prevail for you. Lisa, thank you for listening to the show. I know you've been listening for a while. We greatly appreciate you. All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye for now. 888-565-1470. We're going to go back to the phone lines, and we're welcoming your calls. And we're going to go to Savannah. I got Jacqueline on the line. Jacqueline, how are you?
I am well. How are you, Sarah?
I'm doing great, Jacqueline. Good to connect with you, and positive, powerful energy that's going on around you right now. And it's really a great time for you to connect with different people and community. There's like a whole new community energy that's coming around you, Jacqueline. And they make me feel as if there are some changes that you're thinking of making, that it will be a good time to make those changes in the next 6 months. So whatever changes you're looking to make, things are lining up for you in the next 6 months. Does that make sense to you?
Well, yes, maybe sooner. You talk about the road less travel. I'm wondering, I just took an assignment in Virginia.
Yes.
And I wanted to know how would that work out for me.
And is the assignment for like 3 months or something?
Yes, 13 weeks exactly.
Okay, perfect. So that's the assignment that I see, and that's going to work out well for you. That's going to be a good assignment for you. And I feel as if it's going to be exciting for you to have a change of venue and new friends, new community, new connections. And then, of course, you'll pop on back to Savannah and then take another one. But you'll be back in time for Christmas. I'm liking that feeling.
Yes, well, thank you. I have one question for you. I went, and I was called back on my mammogram.
Yes.
What do you see as far as my health goes?
Let me scan you. You know I'm not a doctor, can't make any diagnoses.
I know,
but there's some fatty tissue that we've had there before, or some right? We've had some fatty tissue before, please, in there?
Yes, it was on the right side the last time.
Now we're on the left side, yes.
Yes.
I see that,
yes.
Okay, and I'm drawing it on my paper here. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I feel like it's similar to what's on the right side is on the left side, just a lot of density, little fatty little bubbles, whatever all that is inside, and it just seems like it's kind of just compressed. It's very just tight and compressed. So I don't feel it's anything that's cause for concern, and let them follow suit to double check and check everything so that you can have that peace of mind, all right?
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome,
so
Jacqueline.
much.
Thank you. Good luck on this wonderful assignment. I think you're going to have a great time. You're going to do a fabulous job, and it's going to be really powerful for you.
Well, thank you. You know you're my guide.
Thank you, honey. Thank you so much for following us in Savannah, Georgia. God bless you. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
888-565-1470. We're taking your calls right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. And we want to talk to you and answer life's questions. But pop on Facebook if you can't get through on the phone lines. Facebook, Sarah Spiritual. YouTube, Sarah Spiritual. Let's go to our Facebook questions and pull a question from Facebook before we go back to the phone lines. Oh, we're going to grab one from YouTube. And the YouTube question goes, this is Cherry. She says, Sarah, I have been frequently going to this one place that I get to dance and work out and wondering if I've worn out my welcome or if I can just, there's a lot going on. So she's really not sure if she's worn out her welcome and if it's quite the right fit for her. I really feel, Miss Cherry, that it isn't that you've worn out your welcome. It's really just time for you to just focus on yourself. I see a little bit of a two-faced energy, a cattiness going on with about two people. So just kind of clear that path away from them and you just go ahead and work out and do what makes you feel happy. And don't worry about what other people are talking about because you're there for your own well self-care. And this is what's important to you, Miss Cherry. So thank you for your question on YouTube. It's always difficult when people kind of feel uncomfortable in a place that they've kind of come to like. But we can't overstay our welcome because it's also your place to enjoy the atmosphere and the environment. Who else do we have on our Facebook and our YouTube questions? We got Rima Feliciano. She says, hey, new career opportunity, good idea. Also, should I ask for more money? She says, more. She wants more money here. And listen, Rima, you most certainly are well worth the money. And if there was ever a time for you to dive into a soul expansion, now's the time, as well as a financial expansion. A new career opportunity, good idea. You are up for the challenge. And if the environment is right for you and is going to foster your growth, and let's not forget your creativity, Rima, then I'm looking at a good move for you. And yes, ask for more money. We're not making changes unless there's quite the reward in it for us, Rima Feliciano. So thank you so much for your Facebook question. I'm going to go back to the phone lines at 888-565-1470. If you're driving in your car, want to have a chat with me, Sarah Spiritual, we would love to talk to you. And for right now, I've got to go to Kissimmee. I've got Fernando on the line. Fernando, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, Fernando. And what brings you here to the show tonight?
I was curious on where my career path is going.
Okay. Fernando, the first thing that I'm made aware of is this is a year of expansion. If it's not going to help you grow, expand financially, then it's not the right move for you. You have to do something that's going to expand your creativity and increase your finances. And when I look at, I have to go back, if I may, Fernando, I've got to go back about 8 years. And when I go back about 8 years, it kind of take me to 2013, 2014. I feel like this was a time of change and even some difficulties for you. You're closing out what seems to have been a kind of roller coaster of the past 8 years. Does that make sense to you? And particularly the past 3 years, your career and your finances have not been lined up the way you want them to be. Is that true?
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay. And when I look at the energy here, they tell me that there's supposed to be a new opportunity for you to embrace. Are you interviewing with someone for something new, something that's not tried and true, is something that you haven't done a lot of recently?
At the moment, no, there isn't.
Okay. There's something coming up that's going to be a little bit outside of what you normally do. And this is a good path for you to follow because you're looking for something that's going to give you a trajectory that's going to increase and promote you and also allow you to be creative. Is that also true? Fernando?
Yes.
Okay. Fernando, this is going to be a good financial year and expansive for you. It's going to take till about October for you to feel like you're back on track with life and your finances. And I feel like there's 3 interviews that have to happen for this job that I see coming for you, this opportunity. There's also an idea, my spirit guides are telling me, there's an idea for you that you want to have your own business, do your own thing. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, it makes sense.
Yes. So there's something that's going to percolate in the background while you build momentum financially. You're going to put together your own business, and that's going to take over the span of the next year and a half. So that when I spin you into 2023, I know it sounds a ways off, but it's really not. I feel like you have a much more entrepreneurial experience, and you're kind of self-employed. So you've got to put up with people and personalities, which you don't like to do at times. You've got to put up with that.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Makes a lot of sense.
A lot of growth coming to you. Fernando, how did you hear about the show?
My sister called you guys.
Okay. Well, tell your sister I said thank you for the referral, and continue listening. We'd love to continue to assist you on your journey. And let's see if we can get that new job, new opportunity percolating before October. Continue to look. Something good's coming. And then we'll be looking forward to your business ideas in our next conversation. Thanks so much for calling, Fernando. Bye, Fernando.
Thank you very much.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye. 888-565-1470. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. And then when we come back, we're going to come right back to the phone lines. We've got calls all across the nation, actually all across the world. When we come back, hold on to your seats. We got to go to Trinidad. I got Wayne on the line, and he's holding. So WHFS, don't go anywhere. WWNN, stay with us. The conversation continues right here with Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. We'll be right back.
I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
For the most extensive multicultural array of spiritual products, classes, and healing services in a comfortable and convenient setting, you must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Habitat Plaza in West Palm Beach. There you'll find the products, services, and spiritual development classes to help you bridge the gap between you and your spiritual connection. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Habitat Plaza, West Palm Beach. Call them at 561-682-0955 or online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. For yourself or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Habitat Plaza, Okeechobee Boulevard, West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit them on the web at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
I am Sarah Spiritual, and we are spiritually speaking with all of you all across the nation right here at 888-565-1470. And we love connecting with all of you all across the nation, especially our friends in Tampa. So we welcome your phone calls at 888-565-1470. But now I've got to go to Wayne, and Wayne is in Trinidad. Wayne, how are you tonight?
Hello. Hello, good night.
Good day, Wayne. Good to have you on. Thank you for calling.
Well, yes, well, I called to find out, want to find out what is happening to me, because I'm just feeling a pushback all the time.
You're feeling kind of stuck and stagnant. Is that correct? Things are not moving the way you want. Yes.
That's correct.
And when we go for work, we just don't seem to get the gig that we want. Is that true?
That's correct.
And they
Remember
also...
last year you give,
Yes. Go ahead.
Last year you gave me some Psalms to say.
Yes.
23, 27, 32, 34, 51, 65, 111, 158.
Yes. And have you been saying your Psalms?
All the time. That is
Yes.
why I want to know when will I get that relief or that deliverance. That's why I'm calling today.
When thank you for calling. You know, the interesting thing is that a lot of us are waiting for some deliverance, and I don't mean the movie Deliverance, because it's been a really awkward time, and the world is in a difficult place. And so when we look at the energy, we look at the shift that comes for you, and the unique shift that comes for you is around the time that your birthday comes. It's as if the work that you seek is of a higher level and more financially rewarding. And I know there's a part of you that feels as if you're being passed by, and maybe even wondering if it's because of maybe age, or you're not fitting into the jobs that you used to fit into. And there's a work that comes for you that is dealing with people in the public. You're good with people in public, and you're good with making people feel comfortable. This is true, yes, Wayne?
Yes, Sarah, that's true.
And
always helping on somebody. Always helping on somebody. Always.
Always helping someone. And that's why you have such a great heart and ability to connect with people and make them feel special. And for you, Wayne, I understand that in Trinidad, things have been still a little difficult. The country itself is having difficulty getting back on its feet, yes?
That's true. That is true.
So in this moment, some of the slow up that's on your personal path is not personal. It's not the universe pushing against you or someone, as much as it is life just having to rebalance and reconnect. And when I put you on that journey, when I move into the energy of what we have coming for you, I see increase. I see work coming for you. I feel like the work has been, my spirit guides say spotty. It's been spotty. It's like a little bit here, a little bit there, but nothing that you can really sink your teeth into and feel financially secure. Does that make sense?
That's correct.
Okay. There is work coming for you. It is going to transform. Continue doing your prayers. Continue to be in gratitude. There is some work that I want to say is in a social environment. Do you do work connected with something in hotels or tourism of some kind, please?
No, never did. You
would be very good with that.
Sarah, I want to ask you one simple question before I go.
Yes.
My deceased, now, I had 3 cases. I won 2, which you predicted that I will win all 3.
Yes.
There's one at the industrial court. All the judges have to do is give their verdict.
Yes.
And it's just delaying.
Delay.
Also, my deceased wife passed away on the 9th of August, 2016. Her name is Vic Anne Marie Springer. Hello?
Yes, I'm listening here. And so the first thing that they told me about is it's almost like the 4 judges don't want to go against some kind of protocol to side with you. It's almost like a Supreme Court decision. It's like they're really having trouble signing off on this one. So that's the delay, as well as the slow up in the court system. So you have to pray for that justice. And there's one judge out of the judges that you have said are a part of this little connection that is judging this here. There's this one judge that feels as if it's hard to sway them. So this judge is the one who's slowing it up. And so they're just not connecting on it. So we have to pray for that to shift and change. Now your wife who passed, she makes me aware of something about flowers and ceremony. Did you have flowers or something for her at a ceremony at her passing, please? Because she's showing me flowers. Yes, please?
Yes. I did try. I did everything I could do. I did it 9 days after she died. I did it 40 days after she died.
Yeah, and that's a ceremony that's unique to you. Yes, because she's making me feel like it's a ceremony that you put flowers and there's a ceremony for it, and so that she's showing me that, and so she appreciates that. That's what, when you say her name and I go to her, she shows me these flowers, and she shows me like a little ceremony or something, a ritual that you would do for her. So this she thanks you for in the energy of spirit and love.
Is there any message that she has for me?
You already know that she sends you much love. You know this to be true.
Okay, Sarah, one more thing. I want to make an appointment to have a meeting with you on Zoom.
Yes. So you can. That's a great question, Wayne. You can go to sarahspiritual.com. That is my website. And you can just check Skype or Zoom session. It's just video session, and then we'll decide it's Zoom. And you register there, and then we'll send you an email with the date available, and then you and I will connect in person, and you and I will continue this conversation.
Will do. And may the God continue to bless you. I always send all that messages for you.
Thank you so much.
May the Almighty God continue to bless you, the staff, and your family.
Thank you so much, Wayne. Thank you. We appreciate you following us. Bye for now.
Bye.
Always interesting to have people all across the globe who follow the show. That's the joy of Facebook and social media and YouTube. We get to meet friends from all over. And then, of course, technology is so cool. They can call in on national radio. We've had our friends in Australia and Ireland and all across, oh my goodness, I think we even had someone from India a couple of weeks ago. So we're always connecting, always enjoying each other's connection and understanding, and knowing that our loved ones are watching us, particularly in the case of Wayne. His dear wife acknowledges the flowers that he has put for her in ceremony, which, unbeknownst to all of us, was a ritual that he was doing. So we appreciate our connections from our loved ones and our guides, and we appreciate our own individual journeys, and sometimes we've got to walk the path alone. But I don't want to walk alone, because I'm right here on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. But I'm saying goodbye to my friends for this first hour on WHFS. So please pop on over to Facebook, pop on over to sarahspiritual.com, pop on over to YouTube, Sarah Spiritual. We love you, Tampa. We want to give you some South Florida love, so come on over to the South Florida side, and let's spend the next hour together on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
There's a light that shines down upon me, and there's a light that brightens up my...
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Phone lines are open at 1-888-565-1470. That's 1-888-565-1470.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its
The other day I sat alone and I realized you're not here. I used to like to pick up the phone and tell you how my day was. I miss you. I sit alone at times, wondering why you had to go. I really didn't want to see you leave. It happened too soon. I lost myself in tears. I lost myself in wondering. But now I just gotta get used to the fact that you're gone now. I just got to get used to. I won't hear your voice anymore. Oh, the things that I would tell you if you were sitting here now. I know we'd be laughing somehow, but I gotta get used to that you're not coming back to me. I gotta realize you're at peace on the other side. But there's something inside of me that's having trouble letting go. There's something inside of me that just doesn't want to know you're gone. But I've gotta get used to. I can't hold your hand anymore. I gotta get used to. I won't hear your voice anymore. But it's alright, I know you had to go. This time you did. And I don't want my tears to hold you back from wherever you're going to. But no, I miss you. And I'll never get used to that you're gone. You're the world is changing now. different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be. 'Cause the world is...
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome back to the second hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions and to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in. 888-565-1470. 888-565-1470. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
There's a light that shines down upon me, and there's a light that brightens up my day. There's a light leading the way. Oh, there's a light. There's a light.
Yes, indeed, there's a light right here on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. For a minute, we thought the light left the building, but we got it all back together. And WHFS 1010 AM, 92.1 and 103.1 in Tampa. We love you. Thank you for joining us in the first hour. I sure hope you popped on over to our Facebook, our YouTube, and continue the conversation. If we didn't get to answer your question while you were holding, you can pop on Facebook. We will continue to answer your questions. We've got calls all across the nation. I was so blessed to just talk to our dear friend Wayne in Trinidad. He usually talks to us on Facebook. So glad that he was able to pop on. And we want to talk to you. We've got calls in Chicago. We've got calls in Seattle. And the calls are piling in here at 888-565-1470. I'm committed to take as many calls as possible so that we can navigate this road less traveled together. And so I've got to go to, oh my goodness. I got to go to Chicago. I got to go. Hello, Amanda. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. And yourself?
I'm doing well, Amanda. And what's your question for us here tonight?
I was calling in to see if Spirit had any messages for me. I was kind of nervous about calling in, but
No, don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. So first of all, this is the year, this is the time, this is the flow that you need. Because as I breathe, they tell me you've got to take better care of yourself. They make me feel as if, Amanda, that this is a year for you to put down some healthy boundaries, and you've got to kind of put you first. And, there's some love things going on inside your heart, and I feel like there's some pulling in your heart, and you're trying to do all the right things and be the perfect person for everyone, but you haven't been taking care of you. Does this make sense to you? Yes?
yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yes. And when I look at the energy, they give me this energy of relationship. You've got a love question, a relationship question for me, please?
That's funny. I actually have a trip coming up.
Okay.
Going to Vegas.
Okay.
So,
and is that in 2 weeks or 2 months?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So give me the number 2. Thank you.
I don't want to, how you say it, miss my beat from just like overthinking. So I kind of just like put it in the back of my mind so I don't think about it and kind of just carry on because I think that's how a lot of times we tend to miss out on things when we think about it too much or ponder.
We do. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You've got to follow your heart on this. And, when I look at what you've done for yourself, and it hasn't been much in a long time, and this is pre-2020, you've just been inundated in trying to, I hear that song, first I was afraid, I was petrified, right? I will survive. So you've been surviving. And through this journey of survival, you've just got to really tune into you. I'm also made aware, Amanda, was there some kind of banana bread, cornbread, something that the family used to make every year, please? It's like a bread cake.
Yeah,
what is
it's
that?
A bread cake. I just made it yesterday.
Okay, thank you. So that's a recipe, that's a family recipe, because there's a woman on the other side who's making me aware of this family bread cake recipe that you have. Yes?
That means she was in the kitchen with me yesterday while I was making it.
Yes. Oh, I got goosebumps, goosebumps all over. And let me tell you, she is with you right now. So that love that you put into that bread cake is the love she gives. And it's been a long journey. And family has been through so much since she passed. Yes? Amanda, you with me?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. And so family has been through so much. And she's making me feel as if when you were making that cake bread that you were talking to her, yes? And feeling her.
I was trying to figure out, I poured too much milk and I was just like, okay, now I got soup for it. This bread is not going to come out right. But then it dawned on me like cake. Right. That's how you like your cornbread, like cake.
Yes.
Remember, flour. Okay, put some flour. It was like it just started coming to me out of nowhere what to do.
Right. Well, that was her. And the interesting thing is that, since you said cornbread, because I'm like, cornbread cake, I'm like, what is this? So she's in the know. I don't know you. I don't know anything about your family traditions. So that's your evidence that no matter what choices you're making in life, Amanda, whatever road you're walking and feeling alone, and you do feel alone right now, kind of like your back's against the wall, you're trying to push through some things. You're really never alone.
It's a lot of transitioning going on.
Yes. And it's interesting because I feel as if when I look at this energy, that this time in your life, as you step into your own personal power, we're going to have an opportunity to make a change for work and money, almost like a career shift, up-leveling. So there's something that comes for you in the latter half of this year into the beginning of next year. 2022 brings you balance. You've been out of balance and wobbling for a while, okay? And when I spin you back, if I may, if I can go to 2019, that seems like it was a rough year for you, yes?
Yes, 2019 was a very rough year.
Yes. And so,
one that taught many lessons.
Many lessons, but you rose above it. And when I look at 2019 and I look at you now, you made it, okay? And, I hear that song in my head, I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore. We've got this power here, okay? Or now I'm hearing, I'm every woman, It's
Oh,
all
that's
in
my favorite song.
me.
Yes.
Yes. They're like, oh, Sarah, no, sing her this one. I was like, okay, I got my singing guides with me too, right? I'm every woman. It's all in me.
Beautiful, yeah.
So keep listening to that song because you are all that and a bag of chips, my darling. So, is there an idea of a move, though? Are we thinking that where we are, we want to kind of transition out of and get a different place? Because that's in the realm of possibilities for you as well that I see.
Yeah. But when I come back from Vegas, apparently there's going to be a lot of things that's going to be changing and triggered, and it's going to cause a shift. So
I know, but you got to be true to yourself. And, you know, they're not going to see it coming, but that's okay. Because I want you to hear what they're telling me. When people think you're not paying attention and they play the games that they play, and you keep your head down and you watch from the corner of your eye to see when they aren't looking what they really look like, and you see the truth, it is they who had been fooled the whole entire time, not you. Does that make sense to you?
that makes perfect sense.
And I have never said that before in my entire life. I don't even know what that was. But
And I've explained this to so many people in so many different ways that I look back at past relationships and stuff like that, and I look at these people and I go, I really did that with you? Oh, God. Or I really talked to you? So, yeah, it makes perfect sense.
it does. It does. But you were smart enough to look when they weren't looking, and that's when you saw the truth.
Yeah.
See, most people don't look when the other person isn't looking. You got to watch. But this is a great, powerful year. This year opens up self-love, self-appreciation, and then, if I may say, wonderful true love for you.
Yes.
Okay. So this true love is really going to make all the difference in the world. Amanda, how did you hear about the show? How did you come to find us? Tell us about that.
Actually, I had a good friend who introduced me to Defrick, and that good friend Defrick introduced me to you.
Yeah.
And I did the soul integration with you.
Right. About a month or so ago, right?
Couple of months. I was in, the winter. It was over the winter time because I was in Wisconsin still.
Okay.
Yeah, when we did the soul integration.
Right.
So, a couple of months. It was like the beginning of the year.
Great. Well, thank you so much for remembering us. And as you can see, we're family here. My students, we all work together. And I'm encouraging people to step into their destiny. And I'm every woman. It's all in me, right? So it's you. You're on track, honey, all right? I just love when I hear Whitney in my head. It's just good stuff.
I know, right?
I'm channeling Whitney Houston, Lord. But Amanda, you're on track. It's going to be good. Have a safe trip. Do what you know you need to do, and everything will be fine.
Okay.
All right, honey.
Thank you, as always.
You're welcome. Bye. Thanks for following the show. We appreciate you. Bye for now.
Yeah. Bye for now.
888-565-1470. We're welcoming your calls. We're welcoming your Facebook questions. But you know what? I got to go to Ireland. Top of the morning to you. I got someone in Ireland, Katerina. Hi, Kat. How you doing?
It's me. Hello, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good to have you calling us from Ireland. We truly, truly appreciate you. And this year, girl, I hope you got your seat belt on. It's going to be a time of change. Feel like a little bit of a roller coaster. So if you're feeling a little unsteady and wobbly, this is the time where doors close so windows can open, so you can go through the window. You don't have to have things end. You need to make some changes. These changes are going to bring you advancement, not just financially, but personally. And I feel as if you've been tuning in, tapping into spirit even more, and opening up to your spiritual connections. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I try to do this. This is true. Yes. I'm still working with this. What is my question? I wanted to ask, I'm sorry for my English because I know Irish. I'm from Poland, and I still try to improve my English.
That's okay. We understand.
What good is waiting on me? what could happen to me in short future. Something like this. Maybe job better, maybe love life will be improved.
Okay. So what I see coming for you in a short time is work. I see job increase, money. I feel like that has been something that has been difficult for you. Finances, yes? So the universe shows you money. Love has been difficult for you to find, difficult for you to have. And this has been a story for a while. Is that true? Yes?
Yes.
And your heart is closed because you have hurt. But as you heal,
twice.
Well, we're going to heal life because life is not always all bad. But I understand that there's been difficulties. But when I take you to 2022, which is a short time from now, I see you meeting someone who is kind, compassionate, loving, someone where you don't have to have your guard up and they can melt your guard down so you can be your true self. Because they make me feel as if when I have to go back quite a ways. I have to go back to 2011, 2010. This window, very difficult time for you. And it seems to have been difficult in personal relationships. Do you remember about 10 years ago being difficult? Yes. Okay. So exactly, you tell me. So exactly around that time is when life was so upside down for you. It was so hard all these years to pull yourself back up, particularly in your heart. And when you're in your heart now, we're going to attract love. But first, my spirit guides are counting the money. Okay, they're showing me the money. Like I look and they're showing me the money. They're going 1, 2, 3, 4. There's more money coming. Okay, they want to give you the money for work. And this is something that comes in a short time. You follow the show on Facebook, yes?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank
you. I asked the question on the Facebook, but later I say, okay, why I have asked here for free? I can call, yes? If it will be okay, I will be talking.
That's why I'm here, so that I could help everyone.
Nice.
Yes. And I'm glad to hear your voice, and I appreciate you following us on Facebook. So short term, we have money, work, job coming for you. And then not too long away, we have love coming. Remember to heal.
Fantastic.
Remember to ask your angels to open up your heart so love can come in. Thank you for listening to us. And your English is beautiful. And thank you for listening. God bless you. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
888-565-1470. So great to talk to Kat in Ireland, even though she's Polish, as she says. We appreciate her, and we're going to take some questions on our friends on Facebook. And let's see what's going on the Sarah Spiritual Facebook and YouTube pages. Let's see. On Facebook, we got Natalie Conde. She says, hey, should I keep my plans for Chicago this weekend? That's a great question, Natalie. And interestingly enough, when I look at that energy, here's the thing. What do you hope to accomplish? Because by going there, nothing's going to change. You'll just be going to be along for the ride. So you have to answer that question. But my spirit guides say your time could be better well spent doing something just for you. Because if you're thinking you're going and thinking that things will automatically change, this is not the case, my darling. Things are going to stay the same. So if you want to go to Chicago because that's what makes you happy, then you go with no expectations. But if you've got secretly a hope that things are going to be a little different, you might as well stay home, read a good book, have a cup of tea, and just do you, girl. Thanks so much, Natalie, for your Facebook question. Who else do we have here on Facebook or on YouTube? Joy Christina Wright. Joy Christina Wright, thanks for joining us on Facebook. She gives the birthdays. Finally seems to be working out the way I hoped. But the dreaded ex is finally in the past. What do I see? Yes, those dreaded exes. My goodness, makes me think of flying monkeys when those dreaded exes act up. But, yes, Joy Christina Wright, things are finally starting to turn the corner. He's really ready to begin to invest in the relationship and let the past be in the past. He was having difficulty letting go, not because he cared, but just because he kept getting sucked into something that was most uncomfortable. and he really didn't know how to feel or think during that difficult time. But he does recognize the soul connection. He does feel the love for you, and it's time for you to trust that the universe has your back. And step by step, little by little, the two of you will cement what you have in your hearts so that you can live your lives on the path of joy, happiness, harmony, and true love. Thanks so much, Joy Christina Wright, for your Facebook question. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then we're welcoming your phone calls at 888-565-1470. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and that's me, Sarah Spiritual. So stay with us, everyone. Do not go away. We're going to be right back.
I know you, have we met before? I've been standing in the room.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470. Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
We've got a feeling you'll want to listen to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. for insightful, intuitive messages on WHFS. Sarah Spiritual is a spiritual advisor and transformational coach who will assist you. Join Sarah Spiritual for a powerful hour of life's questions and Spirit's answers. I've got a feeling you'll love Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, 6 to 7 p.m. Wednesday. Got the feeling? Just call 888-565-1470.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
I've been standing in the room Do you know my voice? Did you call me with your soul? Because you know that you know me.
Every soul has its story. So what's your story? We're talking about your story right here on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And spread the word in our first hour from 6 to 7. We are in Tampa, and we're really glad to have you on board in Tampa. But for now, we're going to go to Seattle, South Florida, journeying up to Seattle, see how things are going for Manisha. Manisha, what's going on?
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good to connect with you again. Thank you for following the show. And what's your question on this road that you're on?
My question. Today we just found out, well, actually 2 weeks ago found out I was pregnant. And today they are saying I'm in the middle of possibly miscarrying.
Oh, no.
And so which is kind of sad because this is really something that we both wanted and would actually have been our miracle child. So I'm wondering, do you possibly see a positive outcome or the possibility of another pregnancy in the future?
I do see a child for you, so I do see a pregnancy in the future. And if a miracle can happen once, it can happen again. But they're not quite sure yet. Is that correct? We have a heartbeat on this baby, please?
They do not have a heartbeat, no. My levels have not gotten high enough for them to be able to see the pregnancy.
Yes, they're not doubling. I understand. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So they just said today we had yesterday's blood test. There was a drop in the hormone.
Okay.
So they believe I'm miscarrying.
Okay. The progesterone is not kind of holding its own right now. Yes, please.
They didn't test the progesterone, just the HCG levels, and those did. They said those dropped. Those levels dropped.
That's something that is important. I'm not a doctor. This is just the word Spirit gave me. So please, there's something that you need to check in your progesterone, something that has to be kind of worked with to help you with this pregnancy or the future pregnancy. If we don't have the doubling, then of course the baby's not growing to its proper potential. So we want to let that energy just pass through. And hear what I'm going to say. The soul that's meant to come to you is going to come to you one way or another. Okay. So the energy of what you're going through, and many women have gone through this experience. And when you're going through this experience, we all know it is a very difficult one because we have this idea of life, and then it's taken away before we can even wrap our head around what that life could actually be. But I see another soul that's there for you. And so this miracle that has happened once, I want you to look at it as preparatory, paving the way for the one that's coming to stay.
Okay.
And I want you to light a little white candle for your baby because that soul is still connected to you. And it is the actual energy of the physicality that is leaving. The soul did not ever leave the heavens, so it's still there with you from above.
Okay.
So you have that connection that is never going to be broken. And there is a soul that comes for you in the very near future. I feel like this energy in your uterus is bringing in new life. So I need you to breathe. And know that you're the woman who is going to create life, and the miracle is going to come for you, Maisha. And when you look at what comes, I want you to be open to trusting that God's got your back on this.
Okay.
Okay. And if I may, when I look at the energy, I see that this year is a year for you to really dive into your soul and for you to understand who you are, your mission and your purpose. And as you understand who you are, your mission and your purpose, what happens next is you have this wonderful opportunity to have another child in a very short time.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. We are with you in spirit, my darling. All right?
Thanks.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Very difficult. I know many people, myself included, can relate to this experience that Maisha is going through, and we send her our love and our light and healing. Those of you who are healers, just send Manisha this healing energy so that she knows that she's loved and cared for. And we're going to go back to the phone lines. I've got to go to Boynton Beach. I've got Antoine on the line. Antoine, how are you tonight?
I'm doing good. And how are you?
I'm doing great, Antoine. Good to connect with you again. This year is definitely kind of starting off a little off, and now we're picking up momentum to have some new beginnings, fresh starts, connecting in spirituality. Got a lot of music going on around you. So what's your question for us, Antoine?
Well, right now, I am in a point where I'm supposed to be moving in the new year.
Yes.
And there's been a pullback because I found this girl that I really like home.
Mm-hmm.
But everything just seems like it's saying move, but it's like me and this girl I really like. Like, I feel like we align.
Right. Antoine, what's her birthday, please?
Her birthday is on Father's Day. It just came up. What's Father's Day?
It changes every year. That's the challenging part of all that. So you have to look at your calendar on your phone. And where are we thinking of moving to?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah, my mom's already moved. I'm Googling as we speak.
So interestingly enough, is there any reason why she can't move? No, there's not a reason why she can't move. If we're still hip and tight and happening by the end of the year, girl loves you, the girl's going to come.
Right.
So I wouldn't postpone my move. I would keep the party move in. And anyone that's meant to come to the party's going to tag along. And, you know, she's got a very free spirit. She's very strong. She's very kind and very intelligent, good conversation. And she's got her own spiritual kind of free-flowing spirit energy with her, yes?
Right.
Yeah. Did you find out the birthday? June what?
19th.
Okay.
Father's Day.
Okay, so here we go.
2021. I thought it's not March. She's a Gemini.
Yeah, so that's June, honey. June 19th.
Oh, that
I got
is
you.
June.
Yeah, that's the vibration that I have for her. So here we go. So the first thing that I'm made aware of here is that this year is really an important love year for her. This is a year for her to fall in love. And looks like you're right there in front of her. So you have to, I know it's new, and I know we got to connect, and we got to really work through the kinks. So you're going to work through the kinks.
Right.
And then you're going to move yourself forward.
Right.
Okay. And when I move you in that direction, and you're supposed to move by February of next year, yes?
Yeah, somewhere in there, yeah.
So the two of you are still in alignments. She will be coming along for the ride. I'm sure you can have her come with you. Don't get ahead of yourself. Focus on living in the moment of now, because this is the moment that you have. All right, my dear?
Right.
Okay. We appreciate your calling, and we appreciate your spiritual journey. Thank you so much, Antoine.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye for now. 888-565-1470. We're going to go to Facebook. We're going to go to YouTube. We're answering your questions all across the nation. Let's see who we've got going on here. We've got Paula Powers. She got the power, let me tell you. Paula Powers, she says her birthday, and she gives me her birthday. And then she gives me her boyfriend's birthday, and she says, what do I see in the future? Well, the first thing I see is that, well, there's a part of you that opposites attract. So the two of you are definitely bringing into each other a different viewpoint of life, which is good, balancing each other out. And I also see here that he is very intense, very emotional, very connected. He feels. And in these feelings that he feels, he doesn't always convey them in a conversation, but he has very strong feelings, and he is very true to himself. So he's not going to do anything he doesn't want to do. And for you, my dear, well, you're learning how to kind of bend the lines a little bit and be open to the relationship growing. And I really feel like he's ready for something to develop a little bit more than where you're at. So I want you to open up the lines of communication and let your guard down, and that will encourage him to open up and share some of his feelings. And your boyfriend at this time, well, he's getting ready to dive into some new opportunities, and there's going to be a better balance between his work and his personal life, and this is going to let the money flow. So he's got some advancement coming, some transformation. As that happens for him, I can see, Paula Powers, that this is going to bring him some more peace of mind, and this will make it easier for the relationship to flow. Thanks, Paula Powers, for your relationship question. Who else do we have on Facebook and YouTube? We got Kimberly Barber. Kimberly Barber says, do I see anything for her coming up as far as my job and relationship? Well, Kimberly Barber, as far as your job is concerned, I feel like the wheels are turning and we need to make some changes so that work can really make us feel a little bit more fulfilled. Something about work seems a little stuck and stagnant. Relationship time, well, this is the time for you to be true to yourself. And by being true to yourself, you're going to learn to kind of set some healthy boundaries in this time of love and relationship, and in this energy of connection and communication between the two of you. I feel as if love relationship has an opportunity to go to a new level, a different level, because we've been feeling a little stuck and stagnant in life as far as some of the traditional things that we've been doing. But spiritually, I got to tell you, Kimberly Barber, you're opening up and your guides are with you. So trust the vibes that the universe is showing you. Thanks so much for your Facebook question. We're welcoming your phone calls right here at 888-565-1470. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. And then when we come back, we got calls all across the nation. So we might even pop into Brooklyn and have ourselves a bite of pizza, maybe a hot dog on the street corner. So stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470. Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955, Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? I am Sarah Spiritual, and we are Spiritually Speaking with all of you, all across the nation. And I got to go to Brooklyn. I got Carmen on the line. Carmen, how are you doing?
I'm good. Good.
Good connection. Glad to connect with you, my darling. And this year really looks like a big soul dive, like you're kind of going through an emotional roller coaster of healing and transformation and really just trying to get yourself on the path that feels good for you. Does that make sense, Carmen?
Yes, it does.
And I also feel as if there's a very heavy heart, almost as if there's loss and mourning around you, and you just can't let it go and heal from that. Is that also true?
Yes, that's true.
Yes. There's a woman who has passed, Carmen, who stands above you. She makes me feel as if she's in the position directly above you, so I place that in your mother's energy. And your mother stands along with your grandmother as well, both very strong women. Is that true, please?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, there is.
And your mother's energy, she makes me feel as if that you took care of her at the end of her life. This is also true, yes, Carmen?
Yes.
And to this, she says, thank you. And she also makes me feel like there's a prayer, I want to use the word novena or something that you did for her after she passed,
yes.
Please? Yes?
Yes.
And we continue to do this prayer from time to time for Mother. Is this also true, please? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. She also makes me feel like that her picture's like almost like right next to your bed or something. Is this true?
I have her and my daddy.
Okay. So, well, she's talking about her. She wants to be front and stage here, honey. So she's got your picture's right next to the bed. And family background, Spanish, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So she's talking to me about some kind of like a party or something, like the last party. Was there a big celebration or party that happened before she got sick, before she passed, please?
Yes, her birthday.
Okay. And she said it was like a big celebration of her, celebration of her life, yes? And there was like a lot of music, but there was like a lot of food and drinks and everything. This makes sense to you, correct?
Yes.
Okay. This is how she sees her memories of being here on earth, that big celebration of her physical birthday that you gave her. And then she also makes me aware that there was a beautiful celebration of her life in her passing, yes?
Yes.
Again, she says thank you. She also says that there's been some difficulty in the family, some miscommunication, misunderstanding, some arguments, I don't know, that things have gotten weird since she passed. Am I making sense? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, right now I'm going through something.
You've got your own health.
Situation.
You have your own health things.
With my grandchildren.
Yes, but you have some health things. Oh, Carmen, listen to me, please.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom makes me aware that you've also been trying to take care of your health, yes?
Yes.
Okay. She's more concerned with your health than you trying to deal with your grandchildren, quite frankly.
Yep.
Okay? You need to look after you. She's talking to me about your health and that you have to take care of your health. I mean, your whole body hurts. This is what she makes me feel, yes?
Yeah.
Almost like
I was in a car accident.
Okay. So we've got to pay attention to us.
Mhm.
Now,
I know. I feel her. I
Okay.
feel her pushing me.
Okay. So take care of you. Now, what's your question on your grandchildren?
Well, that's the situation. I have a situation with them.
Yeah.
I have them right now, and honestly, I think it's too much for me.
Yeah.
You know, and I just want to know if this situation that I'm going through, if it's going to be settled soon.
Well, there's not the support for the children that there should be from the parents. This is true. Yes, Carmen?
Yeah.
Okay. You expect the leopards to change their spots right now?
No, not really.
Not really. So you're going to have to find a way to make it easier for yourself because from what I see, and this is your daughter's children, please?
No,
Sons?
my sons.
Children, okay. That relationship is toxic and unhealthy, yes?
Yes, it was.
So until that daughter-in-law and son come to a better understanding, there's no one to look after the little ones, yes?
Yes. Well, my son's trying to fight for them, but
Yes.
the mother is trying to give him some problems.
Lots of problems. And I feel like the services have been involved, social services. It's very complicated. And there's a lot of misinformation being thrown around. This is going to take a while. This is not going to get resolved until, if we are lucky, December.
Okay.
So you're going to have to find a way to make it work for yourself. But in the meantime, you've got to self-care, self-love. Know your mother loves you. Know your mother appreciates you. And she wants you to know that she is always with you. All right?
Yes, I know. Thank you.
You're welcome, Carmen. Thank you so much. Bye for now. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
888-565-1470. We're going to go back to the phone lines. And from Brooklyn, you know what? I'm going to kind of travel up the Henry Hudson Parkway, and I'm just going to keep going north until I get to Connecticut, because I got Tammy on the line. Tammy, how are you?
Good. How you doing, Sarah?
I'm doing great, Tammy. And what's your question for us tonight?
All right. My question is, I wanted to know if my loved ones sending me any messages, what's going on with my mother.
Well, your loved ones are always sending you messages, and Tammy, you actually do feel them very often. Yes, please?
Yes.
And, you know, since Mom passed, you have a brother that passed as well, please? Who's
my
the
mother
man?
hasn't passed.
Okay, who's the female who passed and the brother who passed, please? Who are those two people?
Cindy.
Okay.
Alan, Daryl, Ernie.
Okay.
And
Hold
David.
Hold on. Who? David. David is your brother, please?
Yes.
Okay. This is the one they talked to me about, David. David left the earth too soon, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And when I look at this energy around David, they make me feel as if things are not quite understood in the passing for some reason. I don't know. It's
right.
It's a little bit of a mystery around some of this passing. It's how they make me feel. What's your question on your mom, please?
All right. I talked to you before, and I tried going and seeing her about a month ago, and they said I could not see my mother or talk to her on the phone. Will things get better with that? Because...
Well, someone's interfering with that communication.
Yes, I know.
They've got you barred.
It is.
They've got you barred from that. They're not letting you get through. This is a plot to divide and conquer and separate you from your mother. This is actually a vicious plot, is what I see. And there's actually two people who are steamrolling you out of the picture. This makes sense to you?
Yeah,
Yes? Okay.
it makes sense. It's two of my sisters.
Okay.
Exactly what you just said.
Okay. But they don't feel that you are healthy for your mother. That is their opinion. That is what they feel. And so they are of the belief that your conversation and communication with your mother and seeing your mother is unhealthy and creates undue stress for your mother. You and your sisters need to figure this out because your mom doesn't understand what's going on. So that leaves her on the outside feeling confused, not understanding why hasn't Tammy come to see me? Why can't I talk to Tammy? So now you're painted in an even different light, but mom's confused. And mom's health is on the decline. She's in a nursing home or something? Is that where she is?
Yes.
Okay. So we need to settle this with our sisters. And we need to have conversation with sisters, and maybe they need to be present so that they know that you're not going to cause whatever they think you're going to do.
I tried talking to my sister, and she don't want to know anything. And every time I tell her something, it's a waste of my time speaking to her. And I even said to her, well, you probably have it on black and white on paper at the convalescent home. Do not let me go see my poor mother.
But I think they would need some kind of specific reason, and I don't know that they have that in writing. That's official. Who has power of attorney over your mom? Who's in charge of your mom's care? Whose name is on legal papers? That's one of your sisters, yes?
Yeah, I believe Janet's helping my sister Lori and everything. And this, like I said before, Janet's saying she only got a few years left. I don't know how true that is with her situation. I told you before.
Okay. Well, believe me, I don't remember everyone's story, because if I took all of you in my head, and then we're not going to go into it on national radio, Tammy, we're absolutely not going to do that tonight. But I will tell you this, that we need to make some kind of peace. If nothing else, maybe you can write a letter to your mom, and she will get that, and a nurse can read it to her.
I could mail her a letter. Would a get well card?
Send her a letter. Tell her you miss her, you love her, and you hope to see her soon, and that she's in your thoughts and your prayers. Very simple, not dramatic. Don't reference your sisters. This is about your mom's wellness, health, and her well-being under a difficult circumstance. And remember, she was on a lockdown. All the nursing homes were locked down for a while, so she hasn't seen anybody. And now people are starting to go, and you're not able to go, and you need to write a letter to your sisters and ask them to reconsider, and ask them what boundaries and safeguards they want you to do, so that you can visit with your mother, and that you promise to listen to their suggestions. Because what's most important in this picture, Tammy, is that you get to express your love for your mom, and your mom gets to know that you're there, because one never knows how long anyone has, and your brother David is proof of that, as of several unusual passings in your family. It's quite an interesting scenario that I see on the other side. So please, be humble. Find a way around this, and let your mom know that you love her. And there's something about forgiveness that has to happen between you and your mom.
Right.
So we need to not come from a place of hurt, anger, and accusing. We need to come from a place of love and kindness, and respect your sister's positions, but also ask to be heard and seen in your mother's presence. I've got to go for now, Tammy. They're waving me off. I'm glad I was able to take your call. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Karen,
for following us.
Karen, I'm sorry.
You're welcome.
Have a nice night now.
You too. Bye for now.
Okay, bye.
Well, everyone, it's a road that we have to travel, this journey called life. And sometimes we have to navigate things on our own. So if you're walking the path of life and you are on your own and feeling afraid, maybe uncertain as to what may come, then please know that the universe is with you, God and the angels, that you're not journeying as alone as you think you are, that digging down deep in your soul is going to give you the answers that are truly the path to your destiny. It's been an honor and pleasure to talk to all of you all across the globe. Thank you, everyone across the world, for following Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. We're glad to have Tampa on board. Good night, everyone. God bless you. Visit sarahspiritual.com. Follow us on Facebook and YouTube. And remember, I am Sarah Spiritual.
There's a light that opens doors.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answers your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at sarahspiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.